and welcome back again. I hope you all had a great weekend and looking forward to a fun week ahead. We're only going to have one follow along class this week. On Thursday, we're going to have our next assignment. So this is going to be our only practice class for the week. So it's going to be at least 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, just so we get some practice in. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to find ourselves in a seated position, starting as we usually do, just spending a few minutes to ground ourselves, just to calm the body, calm the mind. All right, so put on your music, put on your aromatherapy if you like that, and let's get going. So go ahead and close down the eyes, finding a nice comfortable seated position, maybe adding support underneath the hips if you choose that. Letting the hands just be nice and light on the knees. They can be palm facing up, palm facing down, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Imagining that string at the top, the crown of the head, just gently lifting us up, lengthening through the spine. Keeping the eyes closed down here. Allow the space in between your eyebrows to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your shoulders to relax. And just notice your sit bones getting heavier into the ground, into the mat, as we find our place here. We're next going to bring our attention to our breath. We're going to use the visualization technique, so picking a color today. Let's go ahead and watch that color as it fills up our nose, moving down into our lungs, our chest, our belly. And exhale, watch that color as it's released back out through the lungs, the throat, and the nose. Let's keep it going. Inhale, visualize the color, nice and deep breath. And exhale. Let's get 5 more. Inhale, bringing everything that serves us, all that we may need. And exhale, release any stress, any tension, anything that does not serve us today. 4 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Keep visualizing. Inhale. Exhale. Visualizing that color as we inhale for 2 more breaths. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. Let's just gently open up the eyes. Start with our hands, opening and closing them. Warming them up, getting them ready for practice today. Just a few more. Good. Let's go ahead and do some wrist rotations. A couple one direction, and let's go ahead and reverse the direction, other way, wrist circles. Very good. Moving into the shoulders, let's go ahead and reach our hands out. Tap those fingers on the shoulders here, and let's make some circles with our elbows. We're going to take 5 one direction, and then we will reverse the direction. Good. 1 more. Down and around, and reverse. Same thing. Make some circles with those elbows. Remember the breath. Long, deep breath throughout the entire practice. Good. Gently release. So we're going to do some neck stretches as we do. We're going to bring our right ear towards our right shoulder, open up through the left-hand side of the neck. We're just tilting our head here. Couple breaths and we'll switch sides. Inhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left ear over the left shoulder, opening up through the right hand side of that neck. One more time each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. This time, just go ahead and drop your nose just a little bit down towards the ground. See if you notice a little bit different of a stretch there. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Just tilt the nose towards the ground. Look down a bit. Up and back to center. Just making a couple circles with our nose, nice and easy. And let's reverse the direction. As big or as small as you would like to make the circles. Very good. Let's keep it going. We're going to get into our tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's go ahead and do some cat-cows. Drop the belly, point the tailbone, inhale, lift. Exhale, under, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, squeeze that navel to spine. Let's take 4 more, working with your own breath. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you push it under. 3 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, under. 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, under. 1 more, inhale, up. Exhale, under. Good, come back to our neutral tabletop here. We're gonna get into our upper body, into our shoulders. Go ahead and lift our right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm underneath the left, just for a second. Inhale, bring it back up. Let's do 2 more just like that. Exhale, thread the needle underneath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, under. Inhale, back up, reach it up towards the sky. Exhale, hand down. Other side, left arm lift, stretch open and reach. Exhale, thread the needle, take it under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, under. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, take it under. Good, inhale, back up towards the sky, reach. And drop it down, back into our tabletop. So we're gonna make our way into our first downward facing dog of class. Check out your hands, make sure they're nice and wide. Use all 10 fingers. Tuck your toes under, they should be hip width apart. Let's hover those knees on the ground, push the mat away. Be nice and strong with those hands and the arms and the shoulders. Breathe here for 3, 2, take an inhale, exhale. Those hips high into the sky, finding our first downward facing dog of class. Go ahead and pedal out your legs, left and right. Opening up through the back side of the legs here. Just a couple more breaths. We'll come down into a child's pose here soon. Shake your head out, no. Shake your head out, yes. Try to release some tension from the neck. Inhale high, on your toes. Exhale, drop those knees down. Take the hips back, finding a child's pose here. Couple breaths, let that head rest on the floor, on the mat. Good. Inhale, look up at your hands. Exhale, walk your hands over towards the right side. Let your right hand come off the mat. Bring that forehead back down. Inhale, look up, look at those fingertips. Exhale, walk it through center and over towards the left hand side. Let that left hand come off the mat. Right, bring your forehead right back down. Good. Inhale, look up at those fingertips. Exhale, bring it back through center. Let's go ahead and take it through our tabletop. We're going to move up through our downward facing dog again. Strong through the fingertips, strong through the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Lift those knees up just to hover on the mat here for 3, 2, and 1. Take it back. Downward facing dog. Maybe this downward facing dog feels a little more open than the first one. Pedal out those legs. Take a couple breaths here. Good. We're going to gently walk our feet up to meet our hands. And it's okay if you step wide. They don't have to come straight down the middle. Whatever feels best for your body here. Let your knees bend. Bring your chest to be supported on those thighs just for a moment here. And then we're going to ragdoll our way up. Remember, you could use your hands for support to help you come up to our mountain pose. Hold here, breathe into our mountain pose just for a couple breaths. Good, and we're gonna start our sun salutation sequence. So let's go ahead and get started at the top of our mat. Ground down through our feet, lift those toes, spread them out, and then drop them back down. All 10 should be on the mat. Let's put a micro bend in our knees. Inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Come all the way down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. We're gonna go ahead and step back our right foot. Okay, for our first round, everybody drop that right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Remember, we're holding that energy ball here. Breathe. Nice and strong. Good. Take an inhale, exhale, bring those hands back down to frame that front foot. We're gonna step our left leg back. But first, let's lift our right leg off the mat, step it back. Here we are in plank pose, strong planks. Good job, everyone. Let's take an inhale, exhale slow and controlled as you can. Bring it down, down. Let's inhale, baby cobra. Hands are on the side of the body here. Just look up, bring that chin up. Exhale, release. We're gonna move through a reverse plank. You could keep your knees down or your knees lifted. First round, I'll show you with knees down. Come on up and into our plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot up, since we started with that foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee comes towards your nose, in between your gaze. Look between your hands, step it through. Let's all drop that back knee again. The left knee this time. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Hold that ball of energy. Nice and strong here. Keep your core engaged. You're doing great. Inhale, exhale, bring it down. Hands frame that front foot. Same thing we did on the other side. Let's go ahead and tuck the back toes under. This time, our left leg is stepping forward to meet the right. Good. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. Let's ragdoll our way up. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Good job, everyone. So that's round 1 of our sun salutation. We're going to do it again. This time we're going to add another posture into our sun salutation. This posture is called chair pose. This is a really active pose, gets the legs firing up, gets some heat building in the body. It's a great pose for strength. So we're gonna go ahead and start off in our mountain pose and then move into chair pose. So let's go ahead and start at the front of the mat. Lift up the toes, spread them out, drop them down. All right, here we go. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead like we're holding that ball of energy. And I'm gonna have everyone sit back like you're trying to reach for a chair just behind you. So notice my knees are not going forward, but my hips are rather going back. Check out your knees. You should be able to see your toes. If you can't see your toes, your knees are going too far forward, so bring them back. Keep those arms up overhead or bring the hands to heart center if that feels better. All right, let's hold here. Maybe sit a little lower. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale those hands back overhead. Exhale, swan dive, bring it down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and start with the left side this time. Step that left leg back. You can keep your knee up or you can drop it like we did in the first round. Whatever feels good for you, that's where you go. Let's all inhale our hands up overhead like we're holding that ball of energy nice and strong. Here we are for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, bring those hands down to frame the front foot. Step your right leg back to meet the left. Here we are in plank pose. You can drop your knees to modify, okay? Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Lower as slow and controlled as you can. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Hands on the side of the rib cage here. You should feel that in that low back. Maybe push up a little more. And exhale, release. Coming through our reverse plank. And downward dog. Good job. Here we are again in our downward dog. Let's shoot that left leg up this time since we started on the left side. Exhale, knee to nose. Knee comes in between the chest, in between the gaze. And here we are, low lunge on the other side. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Remember, you could drop your knee if you need to, your back knee. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hands frame that front foot. We're gonna step our back leg forward to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and ragdoll our way up, all the way to the top. Inhale, reach those hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, there we go. That was sequence number 2. We started off with the chair pose. Everything else was the same. So hope you all enjoyed that. Hopefully you got a little bit more heat rising in the body for you. So we're gonna finish off with our flow practice, and one more flow. It's gonna be a little bit of an extended flow. We're gonna be basing it off of the sun salutation, but adding in some new postures. So be sure to follow along as closely as you can. After that, we're gonna come on down and we're gonna do some relaxation stuff. So keep up, we're almost there, we're halfway there. Let's go ahead and start at the top of the mat. Ground ourselves, lift those toes up, spread them nice and wide. Exhale, drop them down. Here we go, little bend in the knees. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Hands could be here, holding that ball. They could be here at the heart. Breathe into our chair here. We're gonna be here for 5 more breaths. Nice and strong, nice and active. Doing great. Good, almost there. Take one nice long inhale and exhale. Good, reach it back up as on an inhale. Exhale, swan dive down. So we're gonna go ahead and step our right leg back to start, knowing you could always drop your back knee to modify. Stay here in this low lunge, nice and strong. And I want you to bring your right hand on the inside of that right foot so it's nice and planted on the ground. Reach the opposite hand up into the sky. Maybe look past those fingertips if it feels good for you. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hand comes to frame that front foot. Go ahead and step that left leg up into the sky for a 3-legged downward dog. Keep it up. Notice your toes. They should be pointed down towards the ground. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop that knee down. Pedal out the legs. Doing good. Go ahead and roll it forward, plank pose. Take an inhale, exhale, slowly release. And this time, you could either go into baby cobra, or you could walk your hands out about a foot away from the body and inhale for seal pose. okay? Make sure your toes are untucked. They should be pointing behind you. And breathe here. Notice if your shoulders are up towards your ears, draw them down and back. Take an inhale, exhale, release. Hands come right back by the rib cage. Bring it up through plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and inhale that right foot into the sky. Point the toes, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that knee in between the chest, in between the hands, step it through. So what we're gonna do is drop that back heel onto the ground. So both heels should be on the ground here. Our left toes, which are our back toes, should be about at a 45-degree angle towards the left. Okay, nice and strong. Inhale, bring those hands up overhead. So this is our warrior one pose. So check out your heels. They should be in the same line, so heel to heel. Our back foot should be at about a 45-degree angle towards the side. Our right toes are forward. From there, just sink a little bit into that front knee, okay? Here we are. Now bring those arms up overhead, nice and strong. Nice, very strong warriors. And breathe here for about 5 breaths. So notice this is a little bit different than Warrior 2. Warrior 2, we're faced out towards the side. Warrior 1, we are faced forward. Good. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring those hands down. Come high up on the back toes. Step that right leg back. Put those hips in the sky. High up on your toes. Exhale. Drop it down. Find a child's pose. Good. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, lift it up. So go ahead and walk your feet up to meet your hands. You could do it right down the middle, or you could do it out towards the side. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Ragdoll your way up to the top. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Very good. We did it on one side, now we got to do it on the other side. So here we go. Inhale, bring those hands up overhead. Exhale into your chair pose. This is our last chair for the day, so get as low as you can. We're only here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift those hands up overhead. Exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. This time we're going to step our left leg back. Remember, always you could drop your back knee. So we're in this low lunge. Now drop your left hand on the inside of that foot. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Maybe look past those right fingertips. Nice and strong. Inhale, exhale, release the hand back down onto the mat. So what we're gonna do is bring this leg right into that three-legged dog, okay? So step that leg right into the sky for a three-legged dog. Breathe here for 3, 2, inhale, exhale, release it down, roll it forward, inhale, exhale, drop it down. Walk your hands out about a foot away from the body as you inhale, lift, seal pose. Draw those shoulders down away from your ears. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can move your hands further away, or you could stay in your low cobra, okay? Take an inhale and exhale, release. Bring it back down. Hands come closer to the body. Inhale up, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very good. Inhale, left foot up into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Look between your hands, step that left foot through. So what we're gonna do is drop our back foot again. Our heels should be in one straight line. Our back foot should be at a 45-degree angle towards the right. Stay nice and grounded as you inhale, lift it up, warrior two. So remember, our front toes should be facing forward, our back toes facing out towards the side, and sink a little bit into that front knee as much as you can today. Arms up, hold that ball of energy, warrior one. About 5 breaths here. Good, we're almost there. Take an inhale and exhale. We're gonna bring our hands back on the side of the front foot. Come high up on your back toes. Push the ground away, step it back. Downward facing dog. Come high up on those toes, drop the knees, and drop the hips. Find a child's pose. Good, inhale up, and come on to your sit bones. Very good, so we are done with our flow style of practice for today. We're gonna now do some more relaxing, restorative postures, not doing anything standing. So if you need a drink of water, a sip of water, you could grab that. And then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with something called pigeon pose, okay? So the easiest way to get into this is in from a tabletop. So let's all meet in a tabletop. And I'm gonna start with my left side so that I can show you guys. Bring your left knee up to meet your wrist. So don't move your wrists, they should stay right underneath your shoulders. Now just shift that knee up to touch the wrist. Once it touches, move that foot, the left foot, over the thigh. Once you're there, just move the back leg further away from you. So this is pigeon pose. Let's get into it one more time. So here we are, tabletop, starting with the left side. Move that knee up to touch the wrist. Once it touches, move the foot over to the right. It should be right over that right thigh. From here, push your right leg away from your body. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can add some support, like some blankets, a block, a pillow underneath that left hip to help you sit up on some support. That should help you. If it's too intense, you can move that foot closer into the body. Okay, that should alleviate some of that intensity right there in the hips. If you want it more intense, if you want to intensify the stretch, you move that foot, or that shin rather, close to be parallel of the front of your mat. So the more higher up your foot is, the more intense it's going to be. Lower in, that should alleviate some pressure there. So find what feels best for you in your pigeon pose. Add some support if you need to. And we're going to hang out here for a whole 10 breaths. So find something that's comfortable for you. If pigeon pose isn't feeling good at all for you, you can feel free to just come on into our modified lunge position. So just like we are in sun salutation with our back knee down, and you could just bring your hands up towards the inside of your legs. If that pigeon pose doesn't feel good, feel free to take that. So here we are. Find your modification or whatever feels best for you. Everyone should check your back leg. Make sure it's going straight back, okay? It shouldn't be going sideways, shouldn't be going out towards the other way. Make sure it's in one straight line back. And then just breathe into the hips here. We store a lot of tension, a lot of emotion, even stress in our hips. So our hips might be a little bit tight. So use that breath to help release some of that tension. With each breath you take, try to send it to those hips. If you want to go even further in this posture, you would begin to work your hands down towards the ground. We're almost there. Just take about 2 more breaths. And let's inhale, come back up onto our palm. I just want you to fall open to the right side. And now we're gonna find a hamstring stretch. So our right leg should be out, left knee is bent, and our left foot is on the inside of our right thigh. Inhale those hands up overhead, and exhale, drop the hands as close as you can towards that right foot. Okay? Long, deep breaths. About 3 more breaths here. Noticing if the mind begins to wander, bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to your body. Good, gently walk it on up. So from this position, we're gonna take a twist, a modified twist. So go ahead and keep this leg where it's at. You're gonna bend your right leg, bring that foot on the outside of the thigh in this kind of twist pretzel position. So again, from this stretch, we're gonna bring that foot up and around on the outside of that thigh. So this is great. This is a great place to be if this feels enough for you. Just work on maybe walking those feet closer into your body. Work on sitting upright. Notice if you're hunching forward. Keep your spine nice and lengthened. Remember that invisible string pulling you up towards the sky. And just focus on the breath here. Stay here for about 5 breaths. If you want to go further into this posture, if this feels okay and it feels like you could stay put, you bring those hands up towards the sky, you twist towards the left, you twist towards the right, your left hand comes on a little hook on the outside of that thigh here. Good, inhale back up, exhale release, and let's go ahead and unwind the legs. Go ahead and stick them out in front of you and kind of give them a shake there. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side. So we're gonna start again in our tabletop. We're gonna move into that pigeon. So right knee comes to the right wrist crease. Once it touches, shimmy that foot over towards the left. From there, make some space by pushing that left leg further behind you. Again, you can modify this if you need to. You could bring that foot closer into the body, or you could work it further up towards parallel if that's what you'd like to do today. In this space here, this is where you would put your support, like a pillow or a blanket or a block. That will help it feel a little bit more restorative, okay? So wherever you're at, check your back toes. Make sure they're pointed straight behind you. Breathe into the hips here. Long, deep breaths. Stay upright on the fingertips or come down if it feels good for you. You can also modify this by bringing a pillow right in front of you here and coming down on that pillow so you don't have to come all the way down to the ground. Doing good. A few more breaths here, about 3 more breaths. Good. Inhale as you come back up onto those fingertips. I want you to just fall onto that right hip and whip that left leg around. So we have our hamstring stretch on the left side here. Left leg should be out, right foot should be bent, or right knee should be bent with that foot in towards the thigh. Make sure our sit bones are on the ground, and inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, drop them down. Keep your gaze at your toes. Few breaths here. Maybe you feel that in the side body, and even the hips. Good. Just a couple more breaths. Good. Inhale, walk it back up. Let's go ahead and get into that twist on the other side. So bend that knee and bring that foot around the thigh. So this is our starting position here. If this feels good, stay here. You could hold on to the feet and keep them near the body, because it's not gonna be as beneficial if the legs are out. But if that's where you're at today, that's just fine. But if you feel like you could go a little bit closer with the legs to the body, go ahead and do that. Maybe stay here, or if you'd like to go deeper into the twist or reach the arms up, We twist towards the left, right arm hooks onto that thigh as a little bit of a support, and we're in this twist, a seated twist. You could look past your left shoulder. Doing great, couple more breaths. Good. Inhale, lift those arms up towards the sky, and exhale, go ahead and unwind those legs. Go ahead and shake out the legs there, get some blood flow back into them. Good, so we're gonna make our way down. We are gonna do a little bit more, and then we're gonna do our Shavasana. We're gonna do a micro back bend. So let's get into our bridge. Walk those feet in towards the body. Head should be down, back should be down. We should be nice in a straight line. Adjust the body if it's not. Feet are about hip width or just a little bit wider. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift the hips up off the mat. Lift high enough till you could squeeze your glutes together, and just breathe here into the low back. Nice long deep breaths. Good, take an inhale and exhale. We're gonna melt it down one vertebra at a time. All the way down to the tailbone. Once the tailbone touches, I want you to walk your feet at least max width and just windshield wiper the legs. So let them fall, the knees fall left and right. Doing good. All right, go ahead and bring those knees up towards the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a back massage, some rock and rolling. Switch the direction. Very good. Go ahead and extend the legs out, extend the arms out, up overhead. What we're gonna do next is called the banana posture. So we wanna create the shape of a banana with our body. So I will walk us through that. So arms up overhead. Let's go ahead and start with the legs. So with your feet, so first off, keep your hips planted. They might wanna come up and go sideways. If they start to do that, you know that you're going a little bit past your limit, and bring it back a little bit just so your hips stay from twisting. So keep them solid on the mat. Let's go ahead and walk your feet over towards the right side of your mat. Just one little step at a time. So you should see or feel rather this slight curve in the low body. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the hands. And again, we wanna keep our shoulders planted. We don't wanna lift up one shoulder rolling to the side. Keep them both on the ground. Just begin to walk your walk your hands over towards the right. So as you can see, I'm in this curved kind of banana posture. From there, you should already begin to feel the lengthen on the left side of the body. If you want to go a little deeper, hook that left foot on the outside of that right foot. And you could also, with the hands, you could do the same thing. You could clasp the hands. You could bend the elbows, grab opposite elbows. But we really want to keep this little curve of the body, just a gentle side opening here. So we're going to be here for at least 10 breaths. We've already been here for at least about 3. So just try to find some relaxation here. Again, keep your shoulders down, keep your hips down, just a gentle side body opening. Breathe into that left side body. Just allowing the body to relax, unwind a bit. Good. And release. So we're going to go ahead and just release nice and easy. Walk it back to center with the arms. Unclasp the feet or untwist the feet and walk them back to center. So find your center again. You may need to adjust the hips or adjust the shoulders. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So with the feet, just walk them over towards the left side of your mat. Same thing with the hands. Walk them over towards the left side, creating this banana posture. If this feels best for you, stay here. You don't have to do the the hook of the feet or the grab of the hands. Find what works best for your body today. So we're going to be here again for about 10 breaths. Got about 8 more breaths left. Close down the eyes and just allow the body to relax. Allow the body to stretch and open on its own. Just giving it some time to do so. Good, a few more breaths here. Good, take one more inhale and exhale. Go ahead and release it all back to center. Very good. So we're gonna get into our Shavasana. Let's go ahead and start with the legs. Bring the legs up towards the sky. Starting with your right foot, just lower it as slow and controlled as you can, watching it the whole way down until that heel touches the ground, and then let that leg release. Let's bring our attention to our left leg. Sorry, that was our right leg. So let's go to our left leg. Inhale, exhale, slowly bring it down all the way to the mat until you feel the heel touch down, and allow the legs to just soften, to become heavy into the mat. Let's reach those arms up towards the sky like we're reaching up, trying to grab something. And exhale, slowly release our right hand, as slow and controlled as we can, all the way till we feel it touch down. Inhale, exhale, slowly release our left hand, all the way down to the ground. Finding our final Shavasana here. Go ahead and close down the eyes. Get out any fidgeting or any movements or itches that you may have, just to allow the body to be still for just a couple minutes. Just feel your body getting heavier into the ground, allowing it to rest, allowing it to soften. Allow your face to become relaxed. That space in between our eyebrows that tends to get tensed, let it just relax. Allow your jaw to open slightly, releasing any tension that you may be holding. Allow your shoulders to soften, releasing any tension. Keep the gentle body scan going throughout your entire body, moving from your shoulders out your arms, letting your fingertips curl naturally, letting your chest soften and your belly soften, letting your hips become heavy and relaxed. Letting your legs release any tension, any weight that they may be holding. And let your feet soften with your toes just curling naturally. Spending just a few moments here in this stillness, in this relaxation, before we continue on our day. Grant yourself just a few moments of stillness and relaxation. Take at least 5 more breaths here, trying to not allow the mind to wander. Keep it on the breath. Good. We'll finish off with one long deep breath. Let's inhale nice and deep through the nose. deep as we can. And exhale through the mouth with an H-ah. Very good. Just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. I want you to bring those arms up overhead. Take a nice stretch like we just woke up in the morning. And exhale, release. Go ahead and roll over to the side to help yourself up to a seated position. And that is it for today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for following along. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next time. Namaste, everyone. Don't forget to do the assignment. That's going to be our Thursday assignment, so keep an eye out for that. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.